Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. In this how to play video I have quite a treat for you if you enjoy some of that mid-range hunter gameplay or simply pure aggression. In going with the times, this mid-range hunter build is a Spiteful Summoner Hunter. So we're going for those crazy tempo swings with the power of Spiteful Summoner summoning. In this deck either 9 or 7 drops. We're going in with Corridor Creepers. We have a Grand Archivist that casts some Call of the Wilds and stuff like that. So some pretty crazy things going on, but those mostly happen in somewhere in the mid game. So this is not a pure aggro deck like many of the hunter builds on the ladder are right now. To be honest, I have played both this and Aggro Hunter lately. There will be an Aggro Hunter video coming on later as well, and I think Aggro Hunter is slightly stronger than this one. But I think this one is more fun to play, so if that counts for something, then you can play with this and you can still win a reasonable number of games. One of the centerpieces of the deck is obviously the Spiteful Summoner, which summons those big minions for you. And in this one, like in most of my Spiteful Summoner builds, I'm using 3 spells. I just can't get Spiteful Summoner to work with just 2 spells. I know that many of the decks are relying on just 2 spells, so Spiteful Summoner Hunter usually only runs Call of the Wild. But I'm adding 1 copy of Crushing Walls, because it's the second biggest spell Hunter can have. And Crushing Walls is also surprisingly good in many of the situations, so once we get to the gameplay part of this, you're going to see some really cool Crushing Walls action. And when you run big spells, a Grand Archivist almost always comes along for the ride. In this one you have to be a little bit careful with the Grand Archivist, because Crushing Walls doesn't have a target, which means that Grand Archivist can cast Crushing Walls on an empty board. So you need to know what you have left in the deck. But oftentimes you're even happy when Crushing Walls comes out, or alternatively you have already drawn it and you're guaranteed to get Call of the Wild. So I haven't really had a problem with that, just something to keep in mind. As almost always in Hearthstone right now, when you're running a deck like this that only has big spells, so you don't have any early game spells, you do what you have to do in the early game, and that means running pirates. South Sea Deckhand patches the pirate, South Sea Captain. The pirate package is here. It is just necessary. You have to be able to contest the early game. I tried to build this based on beasts alone, but I couldn't get satisfactory results with that, so I ended up putting in the pirate package. Other than that, the early game is very beast-centric. There's Alleycat, there's Razormaw, there's Crawler. I've also opted to include Bladed Beetles as 2 drops in this build. I think going for that bit more mid-range game style, Bladed Beetle and Deathstruck Rexa just give you that little bit of health gain, some of that more mid-range style. But I also recognize that you could build this in a bit of a faster way by cutting the beetles, cutting the Rexa, adding in dire moles, adding in direwolf alphas. That might even make for a better deck, but it would be slightly more aggressive, and if you enjoy playing in a more mid-range fashion, then this is actually a deck that you can reasonably play Deathstruck Rexa in, which is kind of the paramount mid-range card for Hunter has. In a meta where Warlock and Priest are very common, double Spellbreaker comes in really handy. This deck is not quite ready to go all the way against a Control Warlock, so you probably do need to silence the Lackey or silence the first Void Lord and push in the damage and beat the Warlock well before anything like fatigue becomes an issue. But yeah, it's a fun little deck that has some aggression in the early game, so you have that almost Aggro Hunters type of start sometimes, and then you can just rush your opponent down. And if that fails, then you have a bit more mid-game than an Aggro Hunter would have, and you also have that little bit of surprise element with the Crushing Walls and with the Deathstruck Rexa that can help you wipe some boards, create some even bigger threats. Just a bit more of a deck to play than Aggro Hunters, and that's what I really enjoy, even though I recognize the Aggro Hunter is slightly stronger at the moment. As always, I've prepared some nice gameplay of this deck for you, and remember, if you enjoy this content, then please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more. Now let's go take a look at some Spiteful Summoner Hunter gameplay. And that's pretty much it. Not much else to say about that choice. It's there to improve the consistency of Spiteful Summoner. But I'm unsure. Because is it better to sometimes get a 7-drop? And always have something? Or is it better to always get a 9-drop? And sometimes get nothing? Hard to say. That's a lot of beasts. And I can eat my own patches. But he's going to play pirates too, right? Almost guaranteed. I can kill off 4 minions, but Corridor Creeper won't be free if I do that. So I think I'm trading here. I'm playing the Alley Cat. Next turn I can play the Corridor Creeper. But he kept multiple cards, so he could have a Corridor Creeper in hand too. Haha. Haha, indeed. He has a Corridor Creeper. Well, I assumed that. I assumed that would be the case. So now I'm eating the pirate, playing the Corridor Creeper and playing an Alley Cat. Let's see, it's all out war over here. It's all out war. Value trade is a good idea. Oh, the Deagle bow. That allows me to kill this. And take value trade there. I have the Spiteful Summoner coming. So I think I should be in a pretty good spot from here. We'll see, he gets rid of the Corridor Creeper in a couple of turns. Now, can I get a card that I could play this turn? I cannot. That's a little bit annoying. Okay, if he has a good turn here, then he'll still have it. Well, I can Crushing Walls this in a while. First, let's get a 9-drop. And the 9-drop of choice is... Ooh, a good one. I did it. I did it. I have high rolled. No! Not a silence. Not a silence. No! I just high rolled. I'm annoyed. And I'm going to destroy those with the Crushing Walls. Ha! Who's laughing at the Crushing Walls now? It's me. I'm laughing at the Crushing Walls now. Even if the rest of the day is going to be awful, this game will stay in history. Rogue is just very, very strong against Hunter. I'm keeping the Captain, I'm keeping the Corridor Creepers because I have a Captain. Captain should help me ensure that some minions will die in the early turns. And then I can do a really big swing with double Corridor Creeper. That's the plan. Double Corridor Creeper, Houndmaster, something like that. I have the option to coin the Captain if he has a backstab. If he has backstab SI there, and because he didn't do anything now and he kept 2 cards, I think the probability of him having backstab SI is pretty big right now. So one option I have is coin the bow, so that I would have something to answer his minions with, and then I can play the Captain next turn. Or I can try to save the coin for a turn 5 Spiteful Summoner. I think I'm choosing to coin the bow, and next turn I'm playing the Captain. So between the bow and the Captain, because I have a read now, he didn't have Kelleset, so I have a read now that this is something like backstab SI hand. But I want to be able to answer that very effectively. Well, it wasn't exactly that, but I can answer this now very effectively because I chose the order of play that I did. So now I can kill the captain, but I can value trade the patches. And I'm making the corridor creepers cheaper here. That could also be a corridor creeper.
This guy's toast.
Okay. I don't mind this at all. This is actually quite nice. I can't weave in the Houndmaster, but I can kill this one. Then I can play double Corridor Creeper and Hero Power. And next turn I have the Houndmaster. He could have Backstab Vilespine. So that would let him get to a decent position on the board. But it was a Corridor Creeper, so that was one of the alternatives there. I might just value trading left and right here. I think with Spiteful Summoner in hand I have a chance to get to a position where I can just outvalue him. I believe with this hand it's possible. And because he just drew more cards, his probability to have Vilespine Slayer increases, so the value of having a 7/7 decreases. So it doesn't matter that it's a 7/2. He already used one SI7 agent, so another SI7 agent would deal with that. Argent Commander. Now that's a blast from the past. See, I drew 2 spells again. And that's what I was talking about, the consistency of the Spiteful Summoner. I did not like it when I had just 2 spells in the deck. I felt that I drew the 2 spells too often. Next turn he could Bone Mare, so I will need to trade this away. I don't want to trade with my only beast. I think the probability of him finding a SI7 agent is low enough. So Skeleset into Vilespine. I don't agree with this play. We are currently in a state where the value of Skeleset is rapidly diminishing. And basically at this point I would just Crushing Walls these guys and push 9 to face, put him down to 11. I think that's the play. We're crushing those and we're pushing 9 to face. Next turn I play Grand Archivist, who will cast Call of the Wild, because there are no other spells left in the deck. If I even need that. He needs to deal with the board first for me to even need to play it.
Well played. Smart.
So he can't even deal with the board. But yeah, Bear Shark and then the Stegodon would have given me a 6/9 beast that cannot be targeted by spells or hero powers. Yes. And I would have obviously picked it if it was offered. I think I play the Crawler. I think it's unlikely for him to be running pirates. It's possible. So I could get punished. But it's unlikely. So this is Razakus, almost certainly. I think I'm adapting this fellow here. Let's give it +1/+1, so now it cannot be targeted by a Potion of Madness. And I want to get rid of Talnos, because Talnos into Spirit Lash is pretty nasty at times. I just want to make sure that there's no Potion of Madness play available for this Golakka Crawler, and that would be achievable with untargetable +1/+1 or +3 attack. Well, now there is a Potion of Madness play together with the Silence, but I can't play around that kind of multi-card combo at this point, I believe. I need to maintain tempo, so I'm playing Houndmaster here and probably Eagle Hornbow Hero Power next turn into Spiteful Summoner on 6. Because tempo is of the essence. I have beaten Kazakus Warlocks, Kazakus Priest in fatigue with this deck actually. But it's not something that I generally want to do. And even that was accomplished with tempo. Because I was able to tempo so hard that he never got a break. Well, all damage is going to be mitigated by the priest, so I will have to kill the priest of the feast. Next turn we can finally play the Spiteful Summoner. You can even coin Psychic Scream in answer to Spiteful Summoner if you can't do anything else about it. If he plays Raza now I have no answer. Well, actually I could Deathstruck Rexar it, but I don't think Deathstruck Rexar is the main way to win this matchup. Okay, finally whiffed. That's good. Let's go to Spiteful Summoner. Deathstruck Rexar is a secondary way to win this matchup though. But we'll see. 4/4 is not quite what you want from a 9-drop. Now is it? I mean, that could be a Nusera.
Wow.
Yeah, even he's commenting on it. I mean, I already feel the burn. Why would you want to make me feel even worse? That just doesn't seem to make sense. I usually want to silence his card draw, silencing like an Acolyte. And I could play that Deathstruck Rexar, start making those beasts in the near future. Don't have a good way to play around Dragonfire Potion. Potion of Madness has been spent, so he can't steal a beetle. I think I'm opting for the silence here.
Revenge.
I think I do it like this. And I weave in the hero power. Oh, we're playing the beetle now. He's quite likely to find some kind of board clear. Kazakus can give him what he needs. That's a powerful card to draw. He actually had it since previous turn already. Oh, he has a Spirit Lash in hand. That's what this play looks like. Yeah, read that one perfectly. I think I want to play multiple minions on the board in order to Call of the Wild next turn. I believe that is my current plan. So having 4 minions on the board is perfectly fine. Call of the Wild brings another 3. Gives these minions a little bit more attack. So if he doesn't have something to clear this board now, which would be Dragonfire Potion or Psychic Scream. Not a great board to Psychic Scream, really. But he might. And Dragonfire Potion also deals with the Call of the Wild, even if he can't deal with this board now, but there's not much I can do about that now, is there? And once I run out of resources, then I'll just go Rexar. Okay. Okay. So that's a Holy Smite, I believe. I probably need to wipe these minions. These are some really scary minions. Yeah, they are just really scary minions. I trade a couple of these into that fellow. I hit that one with the beetle. Just deny cheap spells. I even pushed that 1 damage to face. I believe it's fine. Let's try with this. Now he was able to draw a couple of cards. Oh, Anduin is such a nice answer here. because Leok makes these vulnerable to Anduin. So he had Anduin the entire time. That's beautiful as well. I'm not ready to give up on my hero power yet. I want to check up on whether I can find some... We can find some Might of Stormwind here. So we are able to keep up the push for now. Do I play the Alley Cat 2? Psychic Scream would be his answer. Yeah, I'm playing the Alley Cat 2. Obviously Dragonfire Potion also works. But let's see if he has found more board clears. Spirit Lash has been spent. Acid Dispel is gone, Kazaku's Potion is gone. Hazard Death, does he also have Dragonfire Potion? Oh, I'm not sure I quite follow this line of thinking. Well, there's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, oh, almost enough damage, so all I need is any damage from this one, and I can't get it. Well, that is disappointing. That is truly disappointing. Wind Fury +1/+1 +3 attack, all would have done it. Around 70% to find it, when you have 3. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 damage if I push everything to face. I think I need to take that chance. I think I need to take this chance. And then we're about to find out whether he has any healing in hand. Because at 1 health means that he dies to the hero power. He needs Binding Heal or Greater Healing Potion. Greater Healing Potion is not often run. Priest of the Feast is already dead. Kazakus is already gone, so it's Binding Heal. Basically. He has to have Binding Heal in hand right now. Or he will die. He's looking for the Binding Heal. I believe Binding Heal is the card that he has in the deck. But he couldn't find it. Yeah. Well, this looks like a keeper hand. There's the Paladin who most likely has pirates, but he could also have just Murlocs and Knife Juggler and stuff. Righteous Protectors. They're not always pirates in that build. If it's Murloc Paladin, it will be more difficult. It will always be difficult. And of course it is the better archetype. Oh well. I of course need to start challenging the board, and that happens by killing the very first Murloc that comes out. I hope he plays pirates, but it's unlikely at this point, really. Ah, that's a good one. So do I need to coin the captain now? Then I can pop the Divine Shield and still keep both minions on the board. I believe I need to do that over saving the coin for Spiteful Summoner. This is pretty important. I know that card is a Murloc. There could still be a weapon. There are not that many cards in hand, so he doesn't necessarily have a weapon. He has a weapon, perfect. Minions will die and then I can play Corridor Creeper. I mean, I think he goes for a board clear, right? That will make the Corridor Creeper cost 1. If he preserves the taunt, there are some alternatives, but alright, this is fine by me. Another South Sea Captain. Is there any value in taking the value trade? I don't think so, and I can just play Corridor Creeper, and I know he has a Murloc in hand. So, regardless of what Murloc that is, I do want to kill off this Murloc here. Let's take down that Murloc. Play the Corridor Creeper and play the Beetle. I mean, the power level of this game is insane right now. I just made on turn 3, played a 5-5 and a 2-3, and I'm not even guaranteed to win the game. What's going on? There's just so much power here. Okay, Tide Caller. Oh, found a Rockpool Hunter. That's sweet, making it a 5/5. I guess that will force me to trade with the Corridor Creeper. He has a Corridor Creeper too. Wow. As I said, the power level of this game is so very, very high. Yeah, his turn was much better than mine. I mean, he played 14-17 stats on turn 4. Yeah, sure you can play 14-17 on 4. Why wouldn't you? That seems like a perfectly reasonable thing to do. Well, I have to kill this one. This is way too dangerous. I think I have to play the Captain now. Because Captain can challenge the Rockpool Hunter. Now it depends on his top decks. Can he get good top decks? Yes, he can get the best top decks. He has the best cards. Ah, that was pretty good. That's a pretty good top deck. I would recommend Divine Favor top deck on the first turn when you have just emptied your hand every time. Well, I think I have to kill the Corridor Creeper, even over killing the Murloc. That Creeper is just so dangerous. But I think I need to play the Golakka. I'm not expecting any pirates from him. Next turn is my Spiteful Summoner, but I think it's going to be too late. He has so many resources now. Well, he played his entire hand and then he top decks another 3 cards. Superior attack, Spirit can have to do something about Creeper. Yes, Creeper is just an extremely stupid card. It should never have been printed. Okay, I guess the Tarim is pretty decent. Next turn he can start playing some Blessing of Kings and stuff. Well, let's roll high. We roll low on the card. We get the 7-drop and another 9-drop. But this 7-drop is better than any of the 9-drops that I have had recently. So there's an upside. But he is going to have a buff this turn. Blessing of Kings is coming. I have no doubt about that. Could also be Leroy. That's the Blessing of Kings, by the way. No, it's a Rockpool Hunter. Oh, then it's the Gentle Megasaur. I mean, if you can choose that, okay, I would like to draw 4 cards. Would you choose Tarim, Tidecaller, Rockpool Hunter, and Gentle Megasaur as your 4 cards that you draw? I probably would. That sounds like a set of good cards to draw. I think I can take this hand. So I Expel Hunt, but you can tell it's a low tier deck. Yeah, I don't really enjoy that. I did open both Rock de la.
No. Trust me.
Well, I only have 1 copy of the... I only have 1 copy of the... to my side, but I'm not sure if they even want to play it. Jabo, my pleasure. Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, I don't think there's going to be any pirates coming, so we can go with the Golakka Crawler here. It's at least relatively unlikely to die. I could coin Houndmaster, but I think I want to coin the Summoner on 5. I will be weak to Hellfire. Is that okay? Let's try to find something that gives health or something here. I'll take +3 health. Then I dare to play a deckhand too. Because now there's no Hellfire or Defile clear. Which means that I can use the Houndmaster next turn. Then I can coin the Summoner. But I might also have to use Spellbreaker on 5 if he plays a Lackey. The main thing was to get this one up in health so that there would be no clear. Yeah, as you can see, I successfully prevented him from clearing so that I can push more damage, which is fun. So fun. Okay, so I need to use the silence. And then if I don't clear, there is a Hellfire clear here, hit here, and Hellfire. Do I care? If I push him down to 9, Hellfires himself down to 6. How much do I care? Or I keep him at 13. Prevent Hellfire. Still maintain lethal setup on board. But he could still Spellstone this. I think I'd do it like this. This plays around Hellfire. He already spent a Defile. He already played a Lackey. Now he doesn't have a target for Dark Pact on board. Even though Dark Pact on that Lackey would be weak, but it would at least buy him a turn. And Hellfire doesn't fully clear the board. There is the possibility of that Spellstone, as I said. Because he had played one card to buff the Spellstone. Time to look for some soup. Trek, hi, excited about the HCC finals this weekend. Yeah, it's interesting. That Osrook though. I mean, this guy. Why is it always Osrook? Why is it always Osrook? But I don't think I can afford to keep it with this deck. With some decks I keep Spellbreaker against Rogue. If I coin the Beetle, no, I play the Candle Shot. Let's start with this one. He mulliganed all the cards, so he's unlikely to have Kill Asset. Sometimes they just have the Kill Asset. Okay, Kill Asset on 2, so this is going to be very, very difficult. Let's see what we can do. Kill Asset on 2 into Pirates. That is value. I need to coin the Spiteful Summoner on 5. The Eagle Horn Bow, and I will kill the Kelesset or the Pirate. I will kill the Kelesset. Because there's still a chance that I top deck Golakka and I can eat the Pirate. Well, that was a surprisingly weak turn. So I bet there are nasty things coming up next. Well, we're going Beetle and Corridor Creeper anyway. It's not like I have a lot of options. He could have Backstab, Wild Spine. I feel once they get Kelesset on 2, game is over. It really isn't though. It really isn't. I still have patches in the deck, so maybe I don't coin the Spiteful Summoner. Yeah, I don't have to coin the Spiteful Summoner, I can play the Captain. This is better. This is better. Still need to make a rather nasty double trade there. But I guess I like this one. Then I'll try to go with Spiteful Summoner next turn. This is not a very strong board against his turn 6, I guess, but... I mean, I have the option to coin Crushing Walls. Next turn he plays Bone Mare. I could also wipe this board with Deathstalker Exar. But I would also have to get some damage done as well. What if I wipe this board with Deathstalker Exar? Because he didn't play nothing for a long time, he has to have Bone Mare in that hand. And then I coin the Archivist next turn. I think I like that. I think this game is now turning into a more value-based game. With Coin Archivist I get 4 minions on the board. None of them have charge, so there's still some value in upcoming Bone Mares. Oh, that's an interesting choice. Why'd you do that? I guess there's a Bone Mare. And I could obviously Crushing Walls these. If I take another 10 next turn, or even more. Smorg is always the right choice. Yeah. What if there's a Shadow Step? Shadow Step Wildspine. 10, 16, 17. Shadow Step Wildspine is 17. Walls is maybe too defensive. I'm thinking. Because I can always Walls next turn. I'm coining the Archivist. There's no lethal next turn, even with Shadow Step Wildspine. Not true, Misha. And then we will have to worry about this rather large board. And he also has to deal with the Archivist because there's no lethal. Otherwise it's just going to cast more Calls of the Wild. If I played Crushing Walls here, I would leave him with the initiative with 4 cards. And then I would have no further comeback mechanics, because I would not have the time. This will force him to really think what he's going to do here. Yeah. So many deck hands. It's still not the time to play Crushing Walls. It's time to play Spiteful Summoner. He just spent a Wildspine Slayer. I will have to kill this to play around. Shadow Step. Because I really don't want him to be Shadow Stepping. He didn't play around Crushing Walls. Yeah, he didn't. But I'm not going to Crushing Walls here. I want to kill that so that he can't use a Shadow Step to come back. Then I can either build a beast or I can play 2/2 once on the board. I think I like the immediate minions, now that I have a Taunt minion up. Even if he has a Bone Mare, he can't push through here. Well, with Spellbreaker he can. Drawing some cards is nice. Oh, that was a pretty powerful turn. Does that turn mean that I need to Crushing Walls? Silence can be useful. Silence, and it's something with up to 4 mana. Snapjaw. That's it. Trade that one away. Crushing Walls the rest and hit face. Let's try this. Now I have the ability to play a Silence. So if he plays something and Bone Mares it, then I can just silence that. There's exactly as I mentioned. That's there. Well, this is interesting. Now I think I want something else than the silence. Can I get Nesting Rock and something that costs just 1 mana? I could have lethal if I found something with charge. 1 mana. Stone Tusk Boar. No Stone Tusk Boar. But a Wind Fury. It's okay. Then we eat the captain. And play the 5/8 Wind Fury Taunt. And I think at this point I'm just hitting face. He can't kill me from 18, Leroy is gone. He doesn't have the tools to save himself. To my side, interesting. But there was no way to kill me from there. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more.